Welcome everyone to a rare live stream here on this main channel. A little bit more main content, and yes, I need to get back to actually pre-editing that. I thought I'd share this popular here on this channel, otherwise what is inside Sony Vario P, SG Octane and so on, PS3. Today, for various reasons, I opened a Aukey key, low quality, no name-ish stuff here. Live still on my desk. So this is what this is a tiny Wi-Fi repeater access point thing. I brought this some years ago at my parents' and don't need it there. So extremely tiny with so what is relatively nice. The Wi-Fi repeater access point thing is inside this wall vault, and probably in the meantime a handful of them. Although most Wi-Fi things, of course, huge. You've seen this previous video. Links is, what was it, 1900 and stuff. So usually huge things. So from a compact perspective, certainly, especially with the integration, although no name, and it's probably 40 euro or something. Only wanted to share the usual. First of all, taking it apart. So this usual, it came relatively easy apart. Just so this obviously was on there, right? Open this off as per usual. This thing is relatively rare, not as popular as links and stuff. Just wait a second, this was also like that, obviously. Just press this, yeah, probably iPhone plastic sponge or something, but we, not being professionals, I just pressed this open here with a screwdriver in between there. And then these two screws, basically I pre-opened it, and these two screws were there, remove there. So this is a sock. This is a MediaTek. I had this already with a little bit more light. So MediaTek MT7628. I think this one. I think it reads. Was it D? Where do I have? So this is of course a 32-bit MIPS, similar to SG Octane and O2 and so on. MIPS embedded. So this probably not coming through here. They're probably maybe. No, you see it better than I. Anyway, flash and memory, I guess. And then 4 antennas. So we have 4 of this, also preferably. I know I will get bad comments again. Yeah, I know. I promised more pre-recordings, and here we are live. One, so the black ones are at the top. These are here. I'm not sure if this beamforming wise makes such a. And yeah, you should use plastic sponge. I should have actually. If I would have been alone now and not on live stream, I probably would have just used. Also, yeah, ESD static, electrostatic. Oh darn! Don't come off here. So much to. You probably want to use professional tools. Anyway, so much too. I only wanted to share this. The bigger discussion. So why do I show this? I mean, of course, first of all, if you're interested, what is inside and what exists. Of course, the performance. The crazy thing is, I will take a well if it works after reassembly. Of course, then I get negative comments. Cut your fingernails. Thank you very much. Only live on this channel. So bigger discussion as per usual. I really wish, of course, there is free and open. Oh, how can this be so? RT. So the crazy thing is, according to free open WRT, this comes with a 2.6 kernel. I've not seen the log. I didn't text this. The bigger discussion is, of course, security-wise. I mean, this is painful. Let me also drop frames. More convenient. Looks like we wouldn't have professional. Is it called Sparger? Yeah, I see it already. There's a reason why other people pre-record the freaking videos. Man, is that? There we have that one, and which this one? Okay, this Sparger. If it's Sparger really helps. So, okay, this is interesting. This comes didn't expect that, so I've seen, so actually a little bit more interesting than I thought. Of course, here is the switching power supply integrated, so relatively well. Probably you could more tightly integrate this. It is, however, relatively tight, and you also need some room for thermal. So thermal-wise, they have here some thermal pads here, but this is also hilarious. I've seen already, so thermal-wise, huge design fail. It has heat. You probably see this there a little bit. So this has fans on the backside, but it's like there is no air circulation, right? This is, of course, I mean, why do the efforts to have fins on the heatsink? Also, if there's no air circulation, also it has here holes at the side, right? I mean, no wonder if this stuff runs hot and stuff, but the holes, you would think they are for circulation, right? They are mostly closed with this plastic there, so this is like only half open, only the bottom ones here. Pretty ridiculous. Same on the other side. I mean, why freaking make their air ventilator? Also, yeah, basically fake air vents. This is hilarious. Also, configuration-wise, complete nonsense. It has here a switch for repeater, router, or access point, and you can't change this in software. So when I said this at my parents, I think, all right, I wasted like 50 minutes fiddling around with this stupid web interface until I, why? I mean, making the cheap no-name product more expensive is a bloody hardware switch that normally should be a software function, right? Also, they have, what is this? This looks like maybe this. What is? That is a little bit. Is this supposed to make? Oh no, this is not. Oh no, the contacts are. This is a little bit shady. So this metal is coming through there. Although there is an additional isolation there, but this is of course not ideal safety-wise if this is already pressing through. I mean, probably it looks like a thermal pad, but yeah. For me, the thing is, of course, I would like to also. I wanted to check. Okay, this comes apart. I thought this already. So this is two-part design, certainly. Not the worst thing. Also, wait a second. This is slightly funny. Oh, wait a second. This is two more connections. Two-part design in. Actually, this is somewhat reusable, right? If you needed a cheap MIPS 32 embedded thing, that's not too bad for DIY, right? But yeah, certainly not a bad thing if you. But yeah, they don't have that high quantities. But otherwise, you could reuse this for multiple products. Except they route there the Ethernet. Maybe that's a little bit design fail. To route the Ethernet, it's probably going through those there, I guess, or is it most likely? We could follow those traces there. How many would they need for Ethernet? Probably not. Or does it? Yeah, right. This goes to the isolator there. Probably this PPT things. So yeah, that is inside. I mostly, for me, the question, it probably came already insecure out of the box, right, with according to OpenWRT 2.6 kernel. When this was new some years ago, this is of course laughable. And the recurring theme here, right? Insecure software, of course it never got a firmware update, and this is a huge infrastructure apocalypse, right? A total disaster, and why stuff gets hacked and botnets and stuff. I kind of sorta would like to support this kind of things. Of course, there is OpenWRT. So for me, the question is, I always like, even before OpenWRT and stuff were as big, I had this on the to-do for our T2 Linux to support. You can, of course, install OpenWRT. It doesn't look like fully supported. This is also the problem. Why do I make this video? This is not about this one device. Only wanted to show this compact thing. So this is most like, also this looked like, what was it, D or something or whatever, something of that sort. This is, by the way, I can also drop that here. Just this similar applies to all other access points and repeaters. And by the way, repeater mode usually sucks big times, right? I've never seen a repeater. Repeater meaning you have an access point and you want to repeat it somewhere else. Usually complete bullshit, right? Barley repeats, usually more collisions and stuff. And causing more collisions and stuff. Usually, I've not once seen a repeater improving network in any meaningful way, and usually more causing more collisions and interference and stuff. Usually degrading that. So these are the two links. And according to oh wait a second, this link didn't post correctly because Wayland and stuff. So, support-wise, I said this before, with probably the link this video. We have a huge infrastructure and also environmental recycling disaster at our hands, right? I mean, not only we have Internet of Things, highly insecure devices out in the wild, we can't even not really well support them because there are just so many no-name like MediaTek and stuff hardware, and they all differ a little bit, right? What is the problem? I really wish, similar to smartphones, I made a similar video with smartphone remarks, I really wish those network devices, there is no reason that they all need to be a little bit different, right? So the vendors, they all make, it's a MIPS core, of course, but they're all a little bit different, especially the Wi-Fi stuff, right? So what differs between all the devices, Linksys and Aukey and what was it, even Buffalo and who knows what, all the Asus and so on. All the vendors, and then what the ISPs rent you with a contract. And support-wise, it's a huge support disaster, right? This is also why open WRT and free WRT and stuff, they support a lot of stuff, but they can't support everything, and not everything. Even here is remarked that you might install generic evaluation board thing there, but not everything might work, including 5G radio, which is of course, yeah, wow. And this is the usual thing, right? Linux driver support things. So this is of course running Linux, well, of course, and of course some other are also run other VxWorks, and for example even Linksys models used to at times run VxWorks and so on. But often they run Linux, and then the vendors keep stuff partially closed or mostly closed, and then like NVIDIA, a binary only blob, then binary only blob, for example, for Wi-Fi, because 5 gigahertz and stuff, and then the EU radio directive, made a video a year ago already, that even the EU, unfortunately, politicians so uneducated and lobby washed, that they make it even harder for developers like us to just support this, because security, 5 gigahertz and shared media access and hacking and cracking and stuff. Long story short, I really wish in an alternative Star Wars-like parallel universe we would have more PC platforms, that they are, of course, not PC, God forbid, not x86, but more compatible, like Wi-Fi and stuff, like think VGA, think Sound Blaster, to have like one access hardware mechanism, so that Open WRT and others, T2, Gen 2, Arch, Debian could support this, because yeah, out of the box security vulnerabilities, and over the years not a single update. This is of course ridiculous, and really not how we can go forward to keep our society and information systems secure. Anyway, the problem for me is of course, yeah, if projects like Gentoo, Debian, ourselves, Open WRT, what they support is what they have ourselves. So if I would support in T2, our Linux, those devices, well, beside all the, you've seen this here, right, 30 minutes there, 5 hours there, after a while, it's quite some time invested in all those details. And then of course, similar to Open WRT, you only support what you have yourself, and you would need to rely on other community members. Painful process of investigative GPL conformance to peel out the drivers and platform enablement out of other trees. Just the other day I read someone wanted, I think even, was it MediaTek, and you had to register there with some account to download that. And then of course the source is usually, as mentioned, full with binary only files, binary blobs. Anyway, yeah, I hope you found this interesting. What is inside this stuff? What are the challenges for software to support this? I really would love to make this immediately more usable, install our T2 on there. So yeah, switching power supplies, they are actually, you know what is crazy? I just only realized now that, interesting that nobody shouted that out yet. This is mostly through hole, right? This is not surface mount. This is crazy. Do we have on, how is this fixed? I don't really want to, oh, this is maybe glued there, not sure if there, also there should be an integrated circuit to control the switching power supply. I slightly wonder if we, where did I put my, oh here. This is, theoretically maybe there are surface mount things on, yeah, there is surface mount stuff. There should be, I see the resistors cap, and theoretically should be a, where is this glued in? Ah, this is, they just stuck it through there. I wonder if this should probably be, I mean, on the other hand, if I destroy that now, what could possibly, not that such a value, I only wanted to maybe recycle that, so this, I just stuck this through there. The question is only how to get it out of there without completely tearing it apart. Actually, they folded that, so this was, the ends are, they have some, no, they are probably, I even need to raise the quality of this channel and pre-edit this stuff. If I tear enough, this probably comes loose. I wonder how they, must be a pain to manufacture if they fold, I mean, manually, do you manually fold? I wonder which side is easier to pull just for the sake of views here. If I just pull enough, of course. Yeah. So there we have it a little bit, yeah, of course, as expected. One integrated circuits, there, one IC, some, yeah. But interesting that they still have that many, especially too freaking large, also can be focused, too freaking large. Also this is, I wanted to say resistors, but one is a coil. So one resistor for 0.7 and coil there, a couple of caps, this transformer. Anyway, that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. For that, maybe yeah, actually wanted to raise the quality of this channel and post a random live stream. So let's hope it still works. If it still works, eventually maybe. The problem is, of course, as per the other videos, there is no money in this, right? This is a huge problem unless you sell subscriptions. But for me, maintaining wireless support in T2 for stuff like this is only more work for, yeah, this cheap ass devices. Leave me in the comments below. Also, obviously, by the way, it's of course also air gap here for higher voltage isolation here, plus this shield. Yeah, leave in the comments below. As per usual with this open source, right? Every minute I invest in open source is a minute I don't earn anything much except your membership. No, I have it hard to get this back. And anyway, can do this after the live stream. Hope you learned something. Leave in the comments below what you think. But long story short, independently of this one single device, I think similar to smartphones, right? This is crazy what kind of incompatible maintenance nightmare we and the companies maneuvered as ourselves into. Recurring theme here, imagine all the smartphones would be a more compatible platform. Think you could take Linux, like Windows, like one Linux with drivers, like you install drivers with Windows to take your smartphone Android base and just slap in there some API compatible drivers, similar to the Wi-Fi. In my opinion, we would be in a significant magnitude better world and support and firmware updates. Imagine, yeah, again, Linux 2.6 with upstream. Imagine there would be like a Windows like Linux where you would get updates for like a decade for all those devices. But due to the nature of forking custom board support package SDK thing and never sending a single firmware update, that is a really crazy and unfortunate situation we find ourselves in. Anyway, I hope it still works. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon for the next videos and live streams to come.